We had been wanting to explore Nuttalburg mine and community since our first visit to the new River Gorge National Park. Every time we visited, though, we were told that the road was washed out and access to the lower area was not available. But this visit, I was determined to get to the bottom, even if it meant that I had to hike down the side of the gorge. I laid out a plan for the trails and we headed to the Head House Trail at the top of the gorge because there is a connector trail. So we're going to the Head House Trail first. This is part of the Nuttalburg coal mine system. We've been trying to get to this for the last couple of visits, and today we have determined that we're going to do it come hell or high water. One place says that the road is still closed and that we're going to have to hike to it. The other thing is we just ran into some trail maintenance workers and they said that the road is open. So we are going to see what happens and go with it. But here we go. We are on the Head House Trail heading to the Head House. The Head House Trail was downhill, but it was quite manageable, and the rock walls were awesome to see. It is a scenic 7/10 of a mile hike. We finally reached the Head House level. This level is where the actual mine is located, and man, the cool from that mine felt so good after our hike. Oh man, that's really good. The actual head house is the building that houses the machinery and the top of the conveyor that Henry Ford built at this mine when he owned it. Because yes, Henry Ford at one point owned this mine. A good bit of the machinery is still there, and it is so neat to see.
I would say so.
The conveyor is what carries the coal from the mine level to the bottom of the gorge, where the coal was able to be processed and transferred into coal cars so that it could be sent out for shipment.
Yep. Yes.
So here is the conveyor that carried the coal from the mines, which was up here at mid-level, down to the bottom where the coke ovens and the processing and the trains were. We explored the whole area and then we headed back up that trail. We were going to drive to the bottom. The drive to the bottom is absolutely gorgeous. The road is very narrow and rough in some places, but we made it just fine in our low Honda Civic. So here we are at the bottom of the conveyor belt. We did manage to make it. The road is open. It still does stay closed, but we just kind of ignored that sign and went anyway. And you can tell that they've been down here. They have been working on it, so it's probably going to be open soon. So I am underneath the tipple shed, which is where the conveyor belt brought all of the coal. And you can see that there are railroad tracks, and so the railroad cars would come in here and they would get filled with coal from above. This is so very neat to see. We are having a grand time. We have finally seen Nuttalburg, and we are just at the beginning. So let's see what else we can find. Piles of old cables from the conveyor still lay on the ground nearby. What's this? Coke ovens. Here we are. Only a short hike away, there is a long row of coke ovens. These ovens were used to process the coal before shipment. Even though the mine was in operation until 1958, these coke ovens actually became obsolete in the 1920s due to the advancement of technology. At the end of the row of the coke ovens sits the walls that are still standing of the company's store. The area of Nuttalburg has a handful of other trails. If interested, you can meander along the shelf on the side of a gorge where the company housing once filled every remotely level ground. All that is left of these houses are the foundation pillars and the various broken pieces of life that people have found and left for others to see. Yeah, definitely someone's house. Long time ago. We visited the white church and the white school, and we also saw the dark church and the dark school. A visit to Nuttalburg is a glimpse into a way of life that we can only imagine today. But it is a fascinating piece of history.